I'm going to tell anybody and everybody, Yahweh, God, Yahshua, who the world calls the Christ or Jesus, and then Elohim, the Holy Spirit. I stay plugged in. As long as I stay plugged into the source, I can't fail. There's a theme out there, and there's I think a phrase out there like, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Well, because the I am lives in me, I know I'm possible. Nothing is impossible.
Hello, writers and readers. Welcome to Bookmark Live at Black Writers Weekend. We are at this incredible venue powered by Black Writers Weekend in the Riverside Epicenter. We're thrilled to have Ashante P.T. Stokes here as we celebrate and uplift the voices and stories of Black writers. I'm Shamiko Reed. Let's get started. So I am going to read your bio.
Okay, goodness. Well, before you do that, Shamika, I'm going to go ahead and say this to everybody. I'm Ashante P.T. Stokes, also known as P.T. the Gospel Spitter. You put the dot faith at the end. You got me, the bad boy of gospel. Yeah, sir. So we got to make sure we get that in there so people know what it is. You know what it is? Yeah.
So like you said, P.T. the Gospel Spitter is definitely making sure he is using all of his talents with music and film.
Hey.
The Kingdom Biz does not stop for the bad boy of gospel, a.k.a. P.T. the Gospel Spitter. Not only is he a CHH, Christian hip-hop artist, but he is also a gospel artist. What's the difference? Not only can he rap, but he can also sing. Not only can he sing, but he also has a 5-octave range.
Hey, yes, sir.
All this sounds good, right? Well, let's make it sweeter than honey from the Honeycomb, Psalms 19:10. From the last 4 singles that he has released, he has picked up 9 number 1 accolades. Yes, you heard it right, 9 number 1s.
Got to thank Yahweh for that.
All right, so tell us more about yourself and how you got into screenwriting and filmmaking and movie producing.
Got you. So, I'm Ashante P.T. Stokes, like I said, P.T. the Gospel Spitter is what they call me. The bad boy of gospel is one of my monikers. And this is home for me. We're here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a Crawford Long baby. My mother used to tour in an international touring gospel choir at Wheat Street Baptist Church. And my dad just had me just being all over the place with not only my studies, but with film. He had me watching film. He did some critiques when he was in college as well in reference to film. My mother loved film because my mother was in music. That gave me my early love for everything. So I had an opportunity to not only get the love for music, but I got a chance to get the love of Yahweh too. And then at the same time, my dad instilled in me making sure that I run this race strong because my family's run strong as well. So I had a village that helped build me up too. And that's what kind of just got me into music. Then it just, parable of the talents, it just grew from there. I made sure that I was able to give Yahweh the talent of music, and he gave me more. And because I can write my own music, once I got a chance to see Ice Cube write his own, I was like, I can do that. So I then started writing scripts. And for anybody out there, shameless plug, there's apps out here that'll help you to write your scripts. So I actually have an app on my phone. It's pretty much foolproof. You have to want to not get it right. So that helped me to write scripts. And then I just started where I was and made a short film, turned some of my music into short film. I grew up enjoying Michael Jackson. So like, he said he was bad. I just turned that into the bad boy of gospel. And then I decided, okay, he did Remember the Time. He did Thriller. So I take music, turn them into films. And I've just been able to have some blessings come to me. And I'm just very humbled and grateful that not only do I have the love of Yahweh, I had the love of my family poured into me so I could go ahead and stand up now. Yeah, hopefully that got it all right there.
Your family gave you a strong foundation. I like how you referenced Michael Jackson with Remember the Time and Thriller, and even he took that a step further and made Moonwalker.
Exactly.
And before you mentioned Michael Jackson, I was thinking about Drew Hill and how they had their R&B videos were like short films at that time. So how was that transition from songwriter to screenwriter for you? So
what I was wanting to do was, it's just like it says in the word, I wanted to do the new thing that Yahweh had for me. I didn't want to just bring out music. I didn't want to just bring out music videos. I've seen it before. Everyone's seen that before. So I wanted to be able to say, okay, not only how do I do the new thing and something different, how do I elevate the kingdom? How do I promote the kingdom in a new way that people aren't doing? So I remember back in the day, they would say, the revolution will not be televised. So my mindset went to the kingdom revolution will be televised. So I said, okay, let's televise this kingdom revolution. Well, how can we do that to get people to come in? So instead of trying to figure out a script, I just said, you wrote the music. Just bring that vision. There's a vision you have of each song, turning it into something. Just start from there. And I'm not going to say it was all me. There's people that I got a chance to build with and connect with. So I'm also going to say, salute to my team, Proddy Rain, salute to Neil Carr, salute to JP Valenti, salute to Serving the Peace Entertainment, salute to Vidia Gamma, just salute to the village, my auntie mom, I love you so much. Salute to my pop as well. I've had people that poured into me and gave me suggestions like, hey, try this, or hey, I see this. And as soon as they hit me with it, I'm like, okay, cool. And I began writing a script. But because I wrote my music, and I write my own music, so I'll tell anybody, just get into writing. Get into writing your own stuff and just start where you are. So that's what I did. And did the music first, got some inspiration and decided, okay, and got some help with a vision too. And then I got a chance to see it in my head. So now you just bring it out with life because life is in the tongue. So I just made sure to bring that forth and then said, okay, look, how can I make sure that we put this either on TV or we can put this out here as content that people can actually have the seed planted for the kingdom and Yahweh can reap.
I love that because writing anything usually starts as a form of storytelling. So writing your music, you were already telling a story and you just had to, like you said, expand the vision that was already there. And so what thus far has been your favorite opportunity to put life in the tongue out onto the screens?
My favorite opportunity was the record that I had, Praise the Maker. I took that record and turned it into a short animation film. And I have a guilty pleasure for wanting to do animation. I love cartoons. I love anime, Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh, back to Looney Tunes. I love cartoons. I enjoy cartoons. So I wanted to be able to bring some cartoons that gave not only faith, but put hip-hop to it, and at the same time gave like a pop R&B feel. So I really wanted to just kind of fly under the radar. Like, well, what is this? Give you that beat, give you that thing, put some cartoons through it, and crack them with that, and then make sure that the seed got planted with that. So Praise the Maker is currently on Christian Cinema, and then September the 5th, it will premiere on Tubi and Zumo as well. So I wanted to make sure that, like I said, this Kingdom Revolution will be televised. Not only do I get a chance to bring in the youth, I want to make sure we bring in the adults as well, and then the people that, might not even like faith. You get them with a cartoon, they're automatically going to be like, well, what is this? And it's a little different. So like I was mentioning before, give the new thing, do something different. So Praise the Maker definitely was the one that I was like, yeah, this is one. I've had some other ones. We got SFTK, Service for the Kingdom movie, that's currently on Apple TV, and I've been blessed to be able to do this thing. So but yeah, like you said, Praise the Maker is the one that got me. I was like, yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
All right, that's the one. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your experience here at Black Writers Weekend. You just came from your panel before joining me here in the podcast room. What was that like? Is it your first time here? Have you been here several times? Tell me more about that.
So I've been to the Epicenter before. Salute Angelo Diaz. I actually have him. Angelo Diaz was and it still is, the lead actor on Atlanta Homicide. And I had him as the attorney in SFTK, Service for the Kingdom movie, like I mentioned, that's on Apple TV. So he had a stage play here. So I got a chance to come out here for that. But this is the first time I've been out to the Black Writers Weekend. And this has been an amazing experience to be able to just see different representations of us. I'm appreciative of that. I always love diversity, but to see us come together and do something like this, as soon as I heard about it, I'm like, okay, this is dope. I got to be a part of this. So as I'm looking at it all, as I had an opportunity to be on the panel, I've been on other panels, but this one, this one was really amazing. I call it Yah-mazing because I got a chance to see us in the crowd. And got a chance to see more of us up front. and we got a chance to all talk together. And like I talked about earlier, as far as a village, to be able to look out into the crowd and see a village of us wanting to support each other, wanting to go further instead of just going alone. Yeah, to me, that's dope.
If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Hey, Shamiko got it. She hitting bars for you real quick. You know what it is.
So tell me a little bit more about your experience as a movie producer.
Ooh, I'll admit to you that I didn't see that coming. I really didn't. It like I mentioned before, as far as the parable of the talents, I really just wanted to do the music. That's all I really wanted to do. And I believe it was my aunt that said I should get into acting. And I was like, I don't know about all that. I don't know if I'm ready for that. And salute Mark Zamora. He used to be Mr. Jam in WWF. And he had an opportunity. He was like, hey, I got something I think would be dope for you. One of my buddies wrote a book, and he's turning it into a film. He wanted me to come in and do this security role. I don't want to do it, but I think you'll fit. So I took a photo. Let me go ahead and back up and slow down. Mark ended up giving me the gentleman's number. So salute Sean Hutchison as well. And I've reached out to Sean, and he asked me to send a photo of myself. So I send a photo. This is how I get into acting. I send it to him, and he looks at me, and he just happened to let go of one of the characters. The role I was supposed to do was just be a featured extra. So then he has me come in and read. He's like, your look. I just let go of this one actor, but your look, I think you fit this character. And it's called Angelo as well. So I love how that we had Angelo Diaz in SFTK Service for the Kingdom movie, and I played Angelo in this project called Burning Bridges that Sean Hutchinson did. So I do a cold read with also a gentleman by the name of Confidence. And if you look him up, he's been on a whole bunch of stuff too, so salute to you, Confidence. But we got a chance to do a cold read together. Next thing I know, I'm casted in this role, and that's how I get into film. I break into it that way, and that's just divine placement. That's Yahweh and divine timing. Because I was prepped, I didn't have to get ready. And that's how I got into just acting, and then I just caught the bug. I got a chance to see the nuances of film, and I just wanted to know more, so I went and did the background stuff. Got a chance to get some featured extra roles as well. And they got bumped up to there. And then if you haven't seen me before, Saints and Sinners, I'm Dwight the Barber on there for season 1. So that just, when I caught all that, then I said, you know what? I love what they're doing. Let's try to do now. Let's bring some of this music out. And like I said, I wanted to do something different. So that's when I said, oh, okay, now, like I'm seeing this. My aunt got me into this even though I didn't want to do it. Now let's make some film. But it literally was just me being in the correct place at the divine time.
Understood. I have seen Saints and Sinners, so now I'm going to have to go back to season 1 and look for you to Dwight the Barber.
There it is.
You said something that has been a running theme here today, and that is if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
Exactly.
And so you talked about divine timing and being prepared. What other things do you do to keep yourself prepared for divine opportunities?
I got to stay plugged into my faith first. I'm going to tell anybody and everybody, Yahweh, God, Yahshua, who the world calls the Christ or Jesus, and then Elohim, the Holy Spirit. I stay plugged in. As long as I stay plugged into the source, I can't fail. There's a theme out there, and there's I think a phrase out there like, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Well, because the I am lives in me, I know I'm possible. Nothing is impossible. So I can't fail. So that's just the theme right there. My faith, it has me. Since I stand on the rock, since I stand on Yahweh, since Yahshua lives in me and walks through me, and the Holy Spirit Elohim just keeps stirring up my gift, stirring up my purpose. Hey, man, we heaven bound. It's easy now. We got a chance to see Yahshua walk on water. We know about him walking on water. So now we just become gravity walkers and multidimensional walkers.
Okay. Gravity walkers and multidimensional walkers. Do you still continue to write music now that you've gone into film and movie producing? Definitely.
That's the first love. So I got to keep going. We just had a #1 record with Kingdom, Dance Therapy. It debuted at #1 this past November on iTunes here in the United States on the Christian and Gospel charts. And I got an opportunity to do something beautiful with that. So please stay tuned. Keep us prayed up. We just wrapped up something faith-based as a television series that is SAG. And Yahweh willing, we'll be able to bring that to you on Apple TV, Amazon Prime, Google Play, Tubi, and Vudu, and Zumo as well. So Yahweh willing, keep us in your prayers and your meditations. But the first love is always music. I have to stay vigilant with the first love. That's what opened up all these other doors. So as I continue to allow Yahweh to fill me, he's going to give me this stuff. I can't not hear him. It's just like Jonah having to go to Nineveh. I ain't got no choice. He's telling me, look, either you going to go to Nineveh or you going to go to Nineveh. So the first love can never stop. That's always music. So yeah, keep us again prayed up so that we can bring some stuff to you. We should have another record called Save Your Souls featuring the Preacher Man. He's actually, salute the Preacher Man. And he's also an Academy a member, so you know he's a part of that. So the Recording Academy. So we definitely want to make sure we bring that record out and we let it rock out for the kingdom. But yeah, we gotta stay with the first love of music and keep it pushing.
So you talked about having your song go #1 on the Christian and gospel charts. And I recall a few years ago, Kirk Franklin at the awards talking about how they try to differentiate Christian and gospel music, and segregating it as gospel is for the black community, and Christian music is what they would mainstream or mainline for other audiences. Have you experienced anything like that with any of the music you've put out?
Yes and no. I've because I've had an opportunity to do all this stuff myself. With my team, I get an opportunity to dictate what I want to have done. So there's a record I did, Salute McQuell. We did a record called Live In Me, and that went in hip-hop. So we got a chance to go #1 in hip-hop with that record. And that, to me, that was huge because that's a secular realm. And that's where I believe you're able to seek and save the lost as well. You know, so I'm not saying everybody's lost, but typically in the secular world, you know, you don't have too many believers there. So for me, that was the one that was like, wow, this is dope. Like I brought out a Christian hip hop record, and it went in hip hop, just hip hop. Okay, dope, and that's where it picked up. So even though we were sending it to, Christian hip hop and gospel radio stations, it got picked up by secular stations, and I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. And same thing with Kingdom Dance Therapy, because it has a pop feel. The original version, Kingdom, went #1, and then the Praise and Worship mix went #1. But then the Dance Therapy one is the one that people were like, "Yo, it's popping R&B." So next thing I know, popping R&B stations, they're spinning it now. I'm like, okay, So I really haven't had any of what Kirk was alluding to, and salute to you, Brother Franklin. But I haven't had that issue where it's just pigeonholed into Christian or pigeonholed into gospel. It's been able to be all over the place. So I just thank the Maker, the Most High, for that.
Awesome. Amazing that you've been able to experience such a broad spectrum with the music you've written. You shared that music is the first love, and that's what fuels all of these other creative avenues for you. What advice would you give to a creative just coming into this industry and starting their journey?
Know that you're possible. Know that you have a purpose. Keep on driving. A lot of people say keep going. Keep on driving. Recognize that the window in front of you is bigger than the rear view. So you got the rear view mirror, and that's to help you to recall the past, but don't dwell on it. So if you've got people that were doubting you, you got people that said you couldn't do it, you got people that might possibly still be in your ear saying, I don't see it. Remember that, but pay attention and keep on driving. You have this bigger window right here in front of you. So know that you're possible. Know that you have a purpose. Keep on driving.
Okay. I like that analogy. A lot of people talk about, the rear view is bigger than the windshield for a reason. But I like the fact that you say keep it in perspective, but don't let it stop you. So what drives you?
Yeah, like I mentioned, my faith is, I'm sold out all the way to Yahshua, man. That Yahshua drip in me, that Elohim flow, and just the Most High just telling me, hey, You got to work till well done. I've seen him show up so much in my life, and my faith is so big because I got my love of music watching my mother, and she'd be beaming singing in the choir. I'm talking about the biggest smile ever, and that's when I was just like, oh man. And for any black child growing up, I pray that they have a 2-parent household. I had a beautiful mother and I had a beautiful father. My mother's has been passed away for about 11 years now, but my parents stayed married. And I saw that black love, and that was grounded in faith, grounded in love. And because of that, like, the faith is what got me. So, yeah.
You can see their love generating from you, because some people do come from 2-parent households, but they're not as fortunate as you to have parents who have poured love into them.
Definitely.
2-parent households. So, shout out to your parents.
Hey,
for
salute.
pouring all of that into you so that we all can receive it.
Salute to the Stokes family. I love y'all. Thank you so much.
So you shared a little bit about some of the projects that you have in production that you're looking forward to coming out. What has been, well, you already told us that the animated series has been the project that was like the most impactful for you. Mm-hmm. What would you like to do next? What have you not done that you're looking forward to doing next?
So that's interesting that you said that. I want to do a faith-based horror film.
Okay.
I haven't seen that, and not trying to plug in anybody else, but I've been watching the television series Them, mm-hmm. and now they have the new season, and I got a chance to see how they took it from the first season to the second season and tie it together. So I'll admit I want to be able to bring. I haven't seen a faith-based horror, so Yahweh willing, He'll keep me on the path, but I pray He gives me something as He keeps on influencing me, as He keeps on pouring into me, giving me these dreams, giving me these visions. I pray He gives me that so we can bring you something a little different. If you notice, some people might be like, oh, I don't know about that look right there, but it's almost like a blessed Freddy Krueger look I have. You know what I mean? So just imagine if that was a faith-based horror. That's what I want to do. I want to be able to give something different and challenge the norms.
You are not the first person who wanted to see more representation in horror. So we had an audio drama writer who said they had never seen a black woman serial killer, and so they wrote that series. And so now I'm curious, why is it that we want to be present in a genre such as horror? Not that it's not a good genre, but it's just a thought now. It's like, okay, I'm seeing a pattern here. We're not represented enough, and people are seeing that, but I have not heard of a faith-based horror story. What would that look like to you right on the surface? Like, what would you envision as the threat or the horror element?
Now I'm going to get into my empowerment for us to recreate the story of like Nat Turner, but make it a horror. And show how early on people used faith against us. I want to be able to show that, but make it horror. Whether if it's you get a chance to see something demonic or a demonic angel behind one of the people that are trying to break us with faith, or you see an angel like right behind, or the angel is Nat Turner. And in some people's eyes, you see him with wings. And some people, they just see him as a man and they see the shadow of the angel behind him, or they just see the presence of the heavenly glow of Yahweh. I think that's something different. That's just me actually, because you asked, and because I'm a creative, something it'll click, but then I have to go further with it. So maybe that's it, or maybe that'll inspire somebody else to do that. But I want to be able to bring something that they haven't seen like that. And I think Jordan Peele is the one that got me. When I saw him bring back The Twilight Zone, and then when I got a chance to see what he did with Us and, Get Out, I'm like, he came out the gate and, bow, smacked him. So it's like, okay, we'll come out of the gate with something faith-based and horror. And because it's so different and it's taboo, yeah, I want to be able to do that. I think that's going to make it go up for the kingdom. Yeah.
Okay, and I like that. If that was off the cuff, that was a really, really good idea because it caught me. It's not where I anticipated you would go with that. And so I'm like, you know what? Yeah, the Nat Turner story, the aspect of being manipulated with faith, I think would make for a really good horror series. So I hope that you write that, or I hope someone out there watching this is inspired and encouraged to get that out there.
And if y'all happen to do it and y'all want to do it, come on through my entertainment company, Serving the Peace. We do have distribution deals for people where we can get you on Apple TV, Amazon Prime, Google Play, Tubi, Vudu, and Zumo. So if you decide you want to do that, you go ahead and put that together. Go ahead and at least shoot the first episode, get you a trailer. Let's figure that out. Let's make sure we get it edited correctly, get that out, and let's partner together like we talked about earlier. Nothing changed. We go further together, and we go further when we support one another. And I'm just all about making sure. That's why I love this Black Writers Weekend. We have to be able to get back to us. I got a chance to watch my family go through a time where all they had, get a chance to hear their stories about their time where all they had was just them and each other, and they stuck together. Somewhere along the lines, we've fallen asleep to that, and we need to be awakened, not only to have your pineal gland or your third eye open. We need to open up and awaken to, look, not only do you need to be a person of faith, we need to be able to support each other. And instead of trying to tear down each other's dreams, build each other up. So support that. The fact that you were, I didn't see that. Get back to that. Like, I didn't see that, but I love that. Let's get back to at least encouraging each other. It starts with just the encouragement. If you can't give any money, or you can't be a big-time producer of it or anything, or you can't act, you can still encourage and support. When they're writing the script, proofread it for them. Be a second pair of eyes. If they're giving you the treatment, don't tear it down. I don't like what you drew here, and I don't like this. Help them to build, and go together. But yeah, that's the support. Be with the faith. Be with the support. Let's be some journeymen as brethren and brothers and sisters, and gods and goddesses and pharaohs. So yeah.
Amen. I appreciate that. I do think that sometimes we overlook the value of words of encouragement and bartering services like proofreading or things of that nature. And just sometimes people just need a little push, just a little bit of a push to get them across that finish line. With that being said, we're going to be wrapping. Is there anything else you would like to say about your projects, Black Writers Weekend, or anything that you would like to encourage any of the writers or readers listening to this podcast today?
Definitely want to say salute to you. I appreciate you for this as well. I appreciate everybody a part of the Black Writers Weekend. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of the panel. I would tell anybody, did you wake up today? Do you still have purpose? It's a blessed day. Keep on going. Keep on driving. And to those that are coming up, know that you are possible. Know that, because when you get plugged in, I pray that you're plugged into Yahweh, Yahshua, and Elohim. But if you get plugged into the source, you can't fail. You're more than a conqueror. So know that you're possible. I would say that. Know that you're possible. Keep going. Every day that you wake up and you still got purpose, that's a blessed day to go do the best thing for the glory of the kingdom and for Yahweh.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. And I also want to say thank you to our sponsors and partners, Afros in Audio, Ike Ocean, Amazon KDP, All Americans Vote, Delphine Legacy Media, and Riverside Epicenter. Your support makes this event possible. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Black Writers Weekend and join the conversation using the hashtag BWWBookmarked on social. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Before y'all disappear, is it okay we can get it real quick? PT the Gospel Spitter, if you get a chance to come in, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on X, we're on Facebook if you need to be there, we're on Snapchat, YouTube, Apple TV. Like I said, we're coming to Tubi, we're coming to Zumo. Make sure you stay plugged in. If you want to get connected, send me a DM. I promise you, I'll make sure to respond. And let's just go win. Let's just go win. Many blessings to y'all. Rule well. Stay dangerous. Many blessings.